What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the SD3 show, coming at you as I like to do every chance I get. As always, please hit that subscribe button down below. Follow me on Sravanji News on Twitter, and we'll get you your major news there. Big shout out and thank you to those who do continue to watch. We'll begin today's episode with a little bit of a trending now story. Most of you are well aware of the situation regarding former NBA basketball superstar, now Hall of Famer, and host of the Inside the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal, and his comments about, or rather, his behavior towards newly crowned league MVP Nikola Jokic. Jokic winning his third MVP at the expense of Oklahoma City superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has Shaq in a bit of anger and a little bit of sensitivity and jealousy, to be honest with you. Now, according to what we've seen, Shaq went and disrespected Jokic on live television, saying he believes Shai should have won it, which is his opinion. But if Jokic had not been live and doing the interview with them, probably wouldn't be that much for it. But like, whatever, move on. That's Shaq, whatever. But the fact that he told Jokic straight in his face is what's got people in an uproar, and rightfully so. As a result, former NFL superstar turned Hall of Famer and now co-host of First Take and host of Nightcap, Shannon Sharpe had some comments about the situation, and well, when he spoke about it, Shaq got a little too sensitive. Let me stop the BS. The fat bastard got really petty about it. And yes, Shaq's a little bit fat. Let's be honest here. And I don't care if he comes at me for this. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about a 7'1", 300-pound man. Whatever. Listen to this. And matter of fact, I don't even want to say listen. Let me show you what that guy just said. And I'll have a response for one Shaquille O'Neal. Let's take a look, shall we? So according to Shaq, he says to Shannon Sharpe that him sticking up for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is jealousy of Joker. Well, Shaq, you have been jealous of some people before, so it could come across as that. Show how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. Okay, that's not true. So here's some clickbait for you. Quote Shaq again. If you ain't in the top 10 in your profession, you can't speak on me. Excuse me? Shannon Sharpe is arguably one of the top 10 tight ends who ever lived, so I don't know what you're talking about, Shaq. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. What did Shannon Sharpe do to get where he's at? He worked his butt off. He came from an HBCU. You went to LSU of all places. That's the D1 school. Savannah State was not even in that category. You were number one overall pick, Shaq. Shannon Sharpe was a 7th round pick. Big difference. But let's keep going. I know you're trying to stay relevant. Gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. Gossiping on Nightcap. Okay. You need more people, and in case you forgot, 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, and top 75. Google me. Be frank, all this you got, you still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but I work less than you, but I'm worth more. Sense. Love you too. If you need help making money, it's always better than gossiping. I'm too old. Love always the most dominant ever who never took it serious. I know you. In the words of Skip Bayless, I'm better than. Okay, that's pathetic. I haven't. You don't. Not in my profession. And your goat debate. Never wanted to be goat, but you could greet me as the most dominant ever. The apex predator. Okay. I didn't read it fully on because I thought that was bullshit, first of all. Let's get this out of the way. So, Shannon is jealous of you, Shaq? Weren't you the dude who said you never fully committed yourself? You only got 1 MVP, first of all. And you keep crying about how Steve Nash robbed you. This is pure jealousy, big dog. You really are jealous, whether you like it or not. You are a jealous man. And it doesn't take me coming on a podcast in my own place, in my reserve studio, not the real one, but my reserve studio, to tell you that. The reality of the situation is you are a petty big baby. You are. Chuck was right. You are petty. We mentioned something about your stats. The first thing you do is, I got 4 rings. How many you got? Ain't nobody had Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade carrying their butt up the court, doof. And oh, by the way, if you so big, how come you couldn't pull the Orlando Magic to a championship? You got swept in that series, remember? You never fully committed yourself to begin with, number one. Number two, you take cheap shots at players, but when people come at you, you get sensitive. And I am a huge fan of Shaq. What he's done for those kids, giving out money and giving out gifts to people, I'm all for it. But there comes a point in time where even the best dudes have a weakness. And the problem with Shaq is he's very sensitive. Now, Sharpe had a way of responding to the incident with Shaquille. He had some words that I feel we may need to mention here. I think it'd be good for all of us to see what Shaq had to say. Shannon Sharpe had to say in response to the incident at hand here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the clip here from Nightcap on their Twitter page. I feel it's only best that you guys see exactly what Shannon Sharpe had to say. Let's play the clip.
I've never professed. I've never professed that I was as great as Shaq. Mm-hmm. But what I will say,
yes, sir,
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now, yes, Shaq has been the one to say it, that he didn't work as hard, he didn't train as hard, he didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash. Now, you get...
That's true. He still gets petty over that thing. Sharpe's absolutely right. And again, I personally have had my issues with Shannon Sharpe's takes, notably the ones where he really did sound jealous of Tom Brady. But I'm going to rock with 99.99% of the time. That and the fact that I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT, but whatever. Let's keep going.
Guys have heard me speak glowingly. I say Travis Kelce's better tight end than I was. So was Gronk. So was my guy, what's his name? For the Chargers. Antonio Gates, Gonzo, Big Winslow. I'm cool. I got no problem. You know why I got no problem, Ocho, with giving people credit?
Right.
Because I got everything out of my God-given ability. God gave me the ability to do what I could do. But he gave me discipline. He gave me dedication, the way I trained, the way I ate, the way I slept. So this was all I could get.
Right.
Now, I would have felt some type of way if I'd have got these numbers and I half-assed it. But I never half-assed it. Am I a top 100 player? No. Am I the equivalent as a football player as Shaq was as a basketball player? No. But what I did do is that I maximized that. And my question, if Shaq and because it's rough on the back. My question is, do you believe that you gave everything you possibly could in basketball? Did you train the way you should have? Did you eat the way you should have? That just goes to show you how great you was.
In other words, Shannon is actually giving Shaq some love here. But Shaq can't see beyond his own nose. And frankly, it's embarrassing to even for Shaq to act this way. Unc is 100% right. Shaq never fully committed himself to this. Let's keep rolling here. Some good stuff.
That you allowed your weight to get out of control. The injury started to creep up, and you got 4 rings, and you got 3 finals MVP.
See, I'm mad, man. I wish I understood.
Why you mad?
Because I wish I understood goddamn basketball. So when you talking about Shaq, especially during that time, think about this. If I don't know basketball now the way I should, the way you do, like what you telling me right now, it's like I'm trying to process the shit.
Think about it.
But I can't because I wasn't watching back then.
Think about it, Ocho. He's the most dominant big man in the history of the game.
I know that much, yes.
And he got 1 MVP.
So, but think about this. Think about how they I'm not going to say rob. I don't want to use the word rob.
How they rob?
How they robbed Shea. 30 points.
How they rob Shea when the votes were completely in favor of Jokic, I don't know. Now I love me some Ocho, but anyway.
1 seed,
I
but
mean,
he doesn't get it.
They were
so what's the criteria? What's the criteria for MVP if you just gave it to Joker again?
But I don't think they gave it because Joker was top 10 in points, top 10 in rebounds, top 10 in assists, and they basically had the same record. They just had OKC just had a better division record.
Oh,
so you're talking about so it's not like Shea they were the number 1 seed and Joker was number 10.
Right. Okay.
Shaq, if you took what I said as a slight, okay, I can get it. And people say, well, see, my thing is that I'm not saying that I've never said I was the equivalent, and I'm quick to say that when I talk about Kevin Durant or I talk about any player, I said I'm not the equivalent basketball player, but all I can do is maximize my ability.
Right.
Shaq know deep down, he can take all the shots. Yeah, you got more money. Yeah, you're more famous than me. Yeah, you're more well-known. You're gonna have way more money than I ever have. But nobody will ever say that I was lazy or I cheated myself.
So I just updated a little bit of social media here, but so there you have it. That's all there is to it. Sharpe was right. Never once was Shannon Sharpe accused of being lazy. Never once did anyone say Shannon Sharpe never gave full effort. 100% correct. Apologize, we're getting a little social media responses here, so we're good. But there is one other thing I do want to show you. A message from a friend of mine. Guy's name is Ron. And he had a thing about that he wanted to, he said he was right here. Shame was that he had to address it when the votes were 79-15, well more than that. And if Skipper Stephen A did the same interview with Shaq winning MVP in face-to-face, could you imagine that happening? The Joker was a gracious man. Heck yes, he was. Heck yes, he was. Because Joker had every right to say, what's this supposed to mean? And, well, I've got no problem with like I have no problem with if Shaq had to respond to it, that's one thing. If Shaq had said, like, again, if Jokic wasn't being interviewed and Shaq said he believes Shea should have won it, ain't nobody gonna complain one bit. That's just a personal opinion. But the fact that you said it straight to the man's face on live television, and right there in his biggest moment, you try to tear him down right there in his biggest moment, your ass should be ashamed of yourself. That's typical petty Sharpe at his business. That's pretty Shaq, excuse me. Sharpe did the right thing there. But I digress. All I want to say is I'm going to end it up like this. Shaq, you messed up big time. No one cares about your money. No one cares about all that. You act like a petulant child. That's all we got to say. And you embarrassed yourself. But that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. And sorry if it's only a few minutes long, but I had to get this out there anyway. And I've ever jump in on this. I felt a certain way, and I felt Shannon Sharpe was right. Well done, Unc. Well done. Bronco fans right here. Not a diehard fan, but I love me the Denver Broncos. You did good there, Unc. You did there good. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace love.